Hello. Today is July 6th, and I've been doing some work today, but I didn't do a lot of filming. I think that July's studio vlog is going to be a lot about the residency and the work I do there. But what I ended up doing was transferring the fence drawing onto the transfer paper, and then I did some preliminary sketches on the paper drawing that I did to try to figure out the scale of the monsters for Soft Monument. So that's what I'm working on. It's very, very warm today. I'm trying to rest because I work at the museum tomorrow and the day after, and trying to enjoy the feeling of summer even though it's really warm. So that's what I'm up to, and I just wanted to check in and share that. Good morning, everybody. So I am on my way. I'm in the ferry lineup, and I might make it onto the 11:05 ferry, or I might have to wait until the 1:30 ferry, which would be kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. Ferries these days are lacking in staff, and so and people, there's just a really high demand for the ferries to get to Vancouver Island. So I'm on my way. I was very emotional this morning about leaving my family, so I'm still like trying to process that, but I feel like even though I crave doing independent things and moving out there on my own and going out there on my own, I'm actually very comfortable traveling with my partner, with Dave, and we do a lot together, and I never even question doing things with other people. But when I'm doing something like this on my own, where I'm taking the car and going on the ferry and driving down to Shawnigan Lake and doing it all on my own for like a week, it feels very intense for me. So I just wanted to share that because I think that a lot of people become dependent and comfortable in their relationship and feel like they can do anything with their partner, but when they have to do it on their own, they're a little bit intimidated. And I just worked through those feelings. I'm still working through them. I was working through them yesterday. I'm working through them today. They're still very raw and on the surface. I think it might take another day or two for me to move past those feelings. So I think the key is that you're going to have those feelings, and the key is to push through them and go through them anyway. So you just, you know you're going to feel them, you feel them, but you make yourself do the thing, even though you feel anxiety or fear or reasons to tell yourself not to do them. So that's where I am right now. I think I'm going to write a little bit in my sketchbook and just kind of sit tight. If I don't make it onto this ferry, then I'll have a lot of time to kill, so I probably will walk into the village or something like that. But it's most likely that my car will move if that's the case. So I'm going to wait here, read, hang out, and then I'm just gonna chill. So I will check in again with you probably when I'll show you some footage from the ferry whenever I make it on. Hey everybody. So I feel like I'm a hot mess because I am. And I'm still going through it here, and I'm still trying to figure out what's the problem. And I think right now what I feel is like this really strong feeling of being unmoored, unanchored, unrooted. Very strange feeling. It's strange because I really didn't expect to be emotional today. I expected to be excited and excited and like have a sense of freedom. So I don't feel like that right now. I'm not even sure if I'll post this because I don't usually post things that are so emotional on YouTube. I don't know why I feel like this. I just want to like the ferry ride is beautiful, and it's a weird. I just feel really strange. I can't blame it on hormones because I'm right in the middle of my cycle, so it's not hormonal imbalance or like the increased hormones that happen at certain times of the month. I'm just really feeling unmoored, and I don't know if I'm feeling disappointment because I'm going to be arriving later than other people. I don't know if that's the problem. If I'm disappointed about something, because I do have this very specific part of my personality that's tied to outcomes and tied to the dreamer in me that like projects onto things what they're going to be. And that sometimes makes it really hard for me to accept what things are in the moment. So I'm working on right now trying to accept what this is right now. That I'm not excited, that I feel unmoored, that I feel like I need to ground, that that this process, this part of this journey is challenging me emotionally for whatever reason that is. And so I just have to accept that and go through the emotions. So I'm trying to do that, but it feels very, like, I feel very out of sorts because I'm not usually like this. I am an emotional person. There's no doubt about that. And I do process things emotionally. So I don't, intellectualize things. Like, I feel it all. I feel it. I feel everything. So the feelings are very bittersweet, melancholy, making me sad. I don't know, making me want to cry. Don't really understand why. My family is a certain... sorry, someone walked by. My family is a certain identity that I have. Like, I have multiple identities. I have my work identity, I have my family identity, and then this one doesn't get a lot of attention. When I go downtown on my own to go to the art gallery and go to a coffee shop, I feel very empowered by that, and it makes me feel really excited. And so I've anticipated that this experience would also make me feel very empowered. In the moment right now, it is not making me feel empowered. So that's another thing that I'm trying to understand right now is, why don't I feel empowered? It's okay to not feel empowered. I'm not trying to put all this pressure on myself to be some superwoman. So that's what this is I didn't realize this was going to be such a leap. I knew it was outside my comfort zone. I knew that I would feel like I'm pushing myself to do something that I haven't done in a really long time, or really ever in some ways, and that this is a step. It's a step towards something. And so I knew that when I decided to do it, when I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to force myself to do this. But I really didn't expect to feel this emotional about it. This unmoored, this severed from who I normally am. And I guess I compartmentalize a lot of things about my life. And this part of me, this version, this woman, this part of who I am, the artist part, is very sensitive and is the one that is denied the most time and the most energy. And so now that I have full time to devote to myself, it's overwhelming me. Yeah, I was not expecting to feel this way at all. So it is a lot right now. So I'm just gonna keep processing it. I think I have maybe 20 minutes, half an hour before I need to drive myself to Shenanigan Lake. And then I'll be there, and then I'm gonna have to unload and like chat to people. So I really hope that I can process this, and this will dissipate a bit in the car. So yeah, so that's where I am, people. Who knew these big steps and the big feelings that they invoke in us? I would have expected this when I was a kid, but at this stage in my life, 45, I wouldn't have expected to feel like this right now in this moment, you know? So learning a lot about myself today. Today's day 2 of the residency, and it's pretty early for me on a Sunday. It's just past 7:30, and I'm going to go now and have breakfast and get out there and get working. It feels very luxurious to have this much time to work. I still haven't wrapped my head around the fact that I have days and days left. So I tried to pace myself yesterday, but I did work a lot and just focus on work. Today, I think I'm going to work for the morning and then have lunch, and then I think I'm going to go swim and go walk around the campus, like walk around to get warmed up, and then go swimming in the lake or in the river. There's 2 options depending on what's going on. So that's my plan for today. And I'm also gonna do, getting a routine, but also trying to like not be too, pushing myself too hard to work too hard at the beginning, because I want to try to maintain my energy through the whole thing. And I'm worried if I, push too hard, then by the time we get to the end, I'm going to be exhausted and not really have any juice left to keep working. So that's my plan for today, and I'll show you what I get up to.
This guy, Michael Chapman.
Good morning, everyone. Today's Friday morning, the last day of the residency. And I'm trying to formulate my thoughts about that. I have had such a wonderful experience this week and learned a lot, I think. But also, I feel like this whole experience has been pretty unique and that's the thing. I'm feeling very inarticulate about everything because it's been way more than I expected. I've been so amazed at the group dynamic that we have in the cohort, which I've never really experienced such a group dynamic before. And so I'm still trying to process that and figure out what that means, and also process kind of how I'm feeling about this being the last day, what I want to do today, if I want to be more like work really hard and try to do more, or if I want to just like coast into the weekend. Tomorrow will be a travel day. I'm gonna have tea with a friend and then head to the ferry, and then head back to my boys, which I really miss my family. So I'm excited to get back to them, but I can't say that I'm a little bit reluctant to get back to my real life, which is of course always the case when you're doing something like this, when you have a situation where you're doing something out of your norm and you get this like special treatment, like I'm not having to cook and I'm, just, it's a privilege to be able to do this and to be able to not worry about real life stuff. And then eventually, of course, you have to go back to your real life. So this is the moment, this is the transition beginning of going back to my real life. So yeah, just trying to process that. And I think I learned some things about what I feel I can do at this stage in my life comfortably on my own versus with my family, and what this type of an experience can do for my art practice and for the network of people that I know. So I'm learning about all those things. I'm trying to process all those things, and I'm sure that I'll have more to share and more on that process as time advances, but at this stage I'm still really in it, so it's hard to get much perspective at this stage. So that's where I am. So I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go have breakfast. I'm gonna go to the studio, see what the last day and how the last day unfolds with my studio mates. We'll probably have some sort of a check-in, like some sort of a like wrap-up type talk, and then by this evening I will be packing up the studio, packing up my car, and then in the morning I'll have breakfast and then head into the city to get onto the ferry back home. So I'll check in again later. Hey everyone. So I am in the ferry lineup, waiting, hoping to get on the ferry that leaves an hour earlier than the one I reserved, which I think it will because it seems like the arrivals have slowed down a little bit. So I got here before it was called full, so hopefully I get on. And if not, then I'll get on the next one. But so just kind of filling up my time, reading, listening to podcasts, and trying to process everything that I've gone through this weekend, which I think will take a while, but feeling very excited about getting home, kind of tired, kind of overwhelmed by the transition as usual. Transitions I find challenging. And I'm just trying to, work through those feelings. There's a lot of feelings on these days where I'm processing these things. A lot of feelings coming through, changes. Got to have coffee with a friend in Victoria before I came here, and chatting to her about her life, and also changes in a lot of the kids that we grew up, that were contemporaries of our kids, and like what's changing with them. It's a lot to think about and process. So I'm just doing a lot of processing, and I'm so grateful for this experience. And I think I'll try to do maybe a wrap up about this experience and talk to you about that. Maybe it'll be a voiceover of the whole video, or maybe I will just do a talking to camera at the end. I'm not sure. Maybe a combination of both. I think whenever you start a new phase, I feel like this is a new phase in my life, in my career. And whenever you do that, it takes for me, I'm such a slow person with transition, so it takes me time to process
passengers
it.
bound for Salt Spring. All drivers and passengers, please return to your vehicles.
That's the ferry notice.
The crew is ready to welcome you
I'm not
on
going to
board for
Salt
your
Spring.
trip to Fulford Harbor on Salt Spring Island at berth number 2.
Yeah.
Parking
So
within
that's what I'm
24
thinking
inches
about.
or 60 centimeters of the vehicle in front
And,
of you will improve the chances of the customer behind you making this sailing.
I will
Propane
check in
valves
again
must
with
be
you
closed and
when
tagged prior to
I
boarding
have more
and
to
throughout
say
the
about
crossing.
this whole thing.
Please drive.